Okay. Walter Jackson, thank you so much again for joining us on the channel. You're here so often, I swear you like own half of it or something.
Well, it's only because I'm obsessed with rugby. It fills all the gaps in my uh, marriage.
It's your wife there.
No, she's just gone up to bed.
Ah,
I mean, I see you with a pool in the background. It's utterly stupid how we can sit and chat like this, and it's such diverse climates. You're in Melbourne, beautiful summertime. And I'm up here in the mountains of North Carolina, and it's freezing. I mean, my left testicle has now grown to the size of an atom.
look,
It's just,
don't let the weather in Melbourne fool you. This can turn around like that, and it'll be storming, cold, wet, miserable. It happens, and I can already see there's a bit of a breeze. So yeah, we're definitely going to make use of the pool while we still can today.
well, that's a great analogy for a rugby game because we're going to talk about the rugby coming up this weekend, but there's already been a game. We're doing a late video, and
Yeah.
uh, Ireland played Argentina, and it was like the weather in Melbourne. It was so freaking back and forth. Ireland started off with a great flourish, and Argentina came back. I really did think this would happen. Argentina would give them a go.
Hmm.
They are a quality team. Honestly, they are a really, really good team. Uh, Argentina has a quality fly half for the first time in years. They have pack of forwards. Argentina came back. Uh, it was an immense game. It was wonderful, and I watched that this afternoon and started drinking the wine. Now I'm on the coffee, so we can talk.
That's a good combination. We always
Tomorrow's
we start out like when we've got a braai or anything here on the weekend, it always starts with a bit of wine, maybe a beer or two, and it always ends with coffee, maybe a bit of malva pudding, coffee, and then everyone leaves.
absolutely.
Right. So tell me,
Wait,
so you're talking about the Argentina game at the moment. I've totally missed it. Did Argentina give Ireland a run for their money, or was it a run over?
no, that's what I was talking about. It was a really, really tight game. Ireland started brilliantly. Argentina came back, and the if you don't want to know the score, look away now. But it was 22-19 to Ireland. But Argentina gave their absolute best. They defended like titans. You can understand from that game why Argentina beat New Zealand, South Africa, and Australia in one season. And it was an amazing game, right? But there's a lot of rugby coming up. So tomorrow, Scotland plays Portugal. Don't really want to talk about that much.
Nope.
Scotland should have that in the bag. Portugal, great in the World Cup, great team for tier two. They are building. It's great to see what they are doing with rugby in Portugal. We need another European team to step up. It's amazing, but they're going to get beaten tomorrow. The
They are.
next game is the game we want to talk about.
Yes.
England versus South Africa, right? There's a lot to discuss there.
It's pretty much the only game we want to talk about. But before we jump into that, um, the game after that is also a massive one, which is France and New Zealand. It's definitely one that I'm going to have to watch. Uh, but you just said Scotland, Portugal is going to get an absolute beating. I swear you said the same thing about New Zealand last weekend, and they ended up coming out on top. So what happened with that prediction there, Walter? Is your crystal ball
Oh,
dirty
I
or
never said there was a beating for New Zealand. I never predicted that.
I
You
need
must
to
read your script wrong. No, no,
I
no.
need no no I need to, well we've got it on video. We need to go rewatch. Well, I'll ask the users
You you watch that. I would have never said
go
New
rewatch the
Zealand
previous
would
interview.
get a beating.
If I'm wrong and Walter did not say that, then please correct me in the comments. Otherwise, yeah,
That's
I ask forgiveness. But yeah, I think New Zealand, it was a tough game, but they came out on top. Yeah, but without further ado, Walter, tell us a bit about the English team that's facing the Boks later, because there's a lot of controversy online about what's going on.
well. So the main thing that England have done in the selection is picked a couple of wings that are 6 feet something and nothing, and it's going to be like the semi-final all over again. They have this idea that we stuck at the aerial battle. They're going to kick at us with their wings and their fullback. Massively tall players. And they're going to kick at us and hope Kurtley Orange and Jason Colby suffer from losing against the high ball. Problem is, I think Fussy is one of the best players under the high ball. So if it lands on him, counter-attacking is going to be on. If the English think they can just kick the ball at us constantly, indiscriminately, and we are just going to fold and they are going to win the aerial battle, if that's their only tactic, we will win, right? It's not going to be a wet, soggy France like we had in the semi-final. And South Africa does have the ability to play with the ball tucked under your shirt if we need to. If it's that kind of conditions, we can tuck it up the shirt and just push with our forwards. But we will expect that they are going to tackle us with this kicking game of the box kicks, of even first and second phase, kicking the ball to us and let us run back at them, and they will trust their rush defense. Well, Australia showed last weekend that the rush defense can be picked apart, and that was from a base with only slight parity in the set piece. We will have dominance in the set piece. I can tell you that now. At least in the scrums, our lineouts were woeful last week, and it has been a few times even in the Rugby Championship. We
I
had a
saw
few
that.
bad games in the lineouts against Australia, one game against Argentina, one game against New Zealand, where we struggled in the set and in the lineouts. But I'm not concerned about that for tomorrow. We have Expat and Argia. I think South is a
Yeah,
bad loss.
we've got our own 2 6 feet players in the team, haven't we? They're not wingers, but
I know, but I think what Rassi is going to do is drop some of those guys back and let them stand back further back off the ruck. Uh, Not contest so much when we've lost the ruck. Let them fall back and support the shorter wings. But our shorter wings have, good God, they can jump and defend in the air. Kirtley and Cheslin have showed over the years that they can defend in the air when there's a kicking battle, box kicks and stuff. And Fussy is genuinely world class when it comes to the high ball. So I'm not so concerned that it's going to turn into this attritional battle like it was in the semi-final and the World Cup. And I do believe that South Africa is just going to focus on their core strengths initially with the forwards and then play a bit more expansively than we did against them in the semis last year. So South Africa is a very, very good team,
Yeah.
right? We have an amazing team that we've selected. Great experience, great youth coming through. I would have maybe not selected on the
Dribble.
bench. That's the only difference I have with Rossi in the selection. I would have put Moody on the bench just because is a center and a wing, but doesn't necessarily have the high ball skills that Moody has.
Now,
I don't know. It's just a
I,
personal preference. I still think is a world class player, but that's the only selection difference I would have had with Rossi.
now I wanna touch a little bit on. I wanna like just squeeze into the conversation here because I saw Libbok on fly off. I don't know if that's changed since, but look, the last time I've seen him played, he played really well. He wasn't kicking, not that time, but I mean, as far as the back line is concerned, he made a really couple of good connections, and he was always ready when the ball was coming out of the ruck. But do you think he was the best selection for? Sorry, this is what I call this the Aussie wave because of the flies. Do you really think it was a good selection putting him in the startups line, and then yeah, and then also taking it's a bit of captaincy and putting Siya back in light of all the controversy. Now, I've been trying to avoid that topic. Even a couple of days ago, when I was interviewing Stephen Kitsoff, we didn't dare speak about it, but it is currently happening. And I've been watching the social media feeds. They are off the rails upset, not because of him being in the squad, but because of him being captain. Because there's a certain sense of integrity involved that the man has cheated, and now he's in the spotlight and he's leading the Springboks. It's world news. Um, I don't know. I think
Uh,
we need to maybe touch on that topic, even if it's just for a minute.
you brought up a lot of stuff. So let
Yeah.
me start with Sia.
Hmm.
He's the captain, 2 World Cups captain, right? Many people have always said he's not the best flanker in South Africa. And I remember all these same conversations when John Smith was captain in '07 when we won the World Cup.
Hmm.
Oh, Bismarck has to be in his place, or there were all these stories. And years before that, you can't pick Adrian Richter, you got to pick Dion Strauss. So, I mean, there's always opinions out there. They like assholes, right? Everybody has one. The fact is, Sia has won 2 World Cups. Playing in that position, he's inspirational. When he's on the field, South Africa win games. When he's not on the field, we lose games, right? That's just stats. And Eben is great, one of the best players we've ever had in South Africa. He has been captain, but being the best player on the field doesn't mean you're the captain.
Oh
There
no,
are
I
two
know that.
different skill sets to it, right? So Sia needs to play. He inspires everybody around him to be better. That's just a fact about the South African team. And he has lifted the William Webb Ellis Trophy twice. Nobody can argue against that. That is a fact, right? So
Good
he's
point.
playing, he's captain.
Good point. But
The
I think it's a
next
South African thing.
issue,
Yeah, we get taught from a young age. Make sure your affairs are okay at home. No pun intended, but that your things are in order at home, and then it'll reflect in your professional life as well. And it just feels, I didn't really care much for any of it. I just want to watch the rugby. But now I sort of get into the conversation that I'm reading. But good points there. He has proven himself already. So and he
Uh,
will always have our
uh,
support, my support.
I,
So
I tell you what, unless the comments are from Richie McCaw, who also has lifted the William Webb Ellis Trophy twice as a captain, nobody gives a shit. Right? It's your opinion, but you have never played flank for the Springboks and you haven't lifted the trophy twice. So who gives a shit about your opinion, right? We're
close.
all just talking
I
about
was
rugby, and people can get so upset about this sport. It's ridiculous. The fact is, he's in the team, he's the captain. I don't care what happens off the pitch with his personal relationship. I don't care if he's getting divorced. I don't care if he thinks the earth is flat. I don't care if he's a complete idiot. He's the Springbok captain. We will support him no matter what. And he's playing, right? The next point you raised was Marnie Libok.
mm,
Probably more contentious, mostly about his kicking. But we have to look at Rossi and trust that he knows what he's doing. Against Argentina, in Argentina, when he missed that kick, he fucked up. He messed up. I mean, we all do that. He made a mistake, right? Lots of players made mistakes. But lots of players missed tackles to get the Australians over the line. Andre missed some tackles. Marnie missed a kick. We all shouted off with his head, right? The next
not,
week
not
in
not
South
not me.
Africa,
I didn't do anything
uh,
wrong.
Rossi picked him again to start, and he had an absolutely brilliant game. And we destroyed Argentina. I think Jaden Hendricks, the scrum half, was kicking that day, right?
Really
And
well.
Marnie just had the freedom to just run. And we destroyed uh, Argentina
We
that
did.
day
Yeah.
in Nelspruit, Bela, whatever, Mbumbela. So Rossi has more intimate relations with the players than we do as fans, even though we interview some of the players and you and I in depth study all this stuff, or at least I do. It's not our place to pick Russie's team. He spends time with the players. So we have to just support what the coach is doing. And if he really, really messes up, then we can attack him, right? Like every other fan in the world. But Rossi hasn't messed up. He's given us two World Cups. He's given us Lions series. He's given us this year a great uh, rugby championship. We can't complain about what he's done, right? And on top of that, he really, really gets the country and the nation firing and believing that rugby makes a difference in transition, in liking each other more, and not fighting so much about our cultural differences. So he's making a difference, right? If he picks Marnie for this week with Grant Williams, I look at that from an analytical point of view that he wants to run the ball more. He wants to use the dominance from the forwards to give a platform to our exciting backs. That's what I look at. I don't look at Marnie doesn't make his kicks. I look at it like Rossi wants to run the ball, run the English ragged. Australia got a lot of impetus against England last week, hitting gaps, getting quick ball. Our forwards can give us quick ball. With Grant Williams and Marnie Libok, Rossi wants to play an expansive game. I give him credit for that. and I support him in that endeavor because we can't just always think our forwards are going to win us the game with a bomb squad.
I totally agree. I'm raising these concerns not from a personal point of view, but from a wider perspective that I've been following since I've published the interview I had with Stephen Kitzel. And I never really think too deep on these things until I actually go sit down and I ask myself, but why do they say these things? Because at the end of the day, I mean, when as soon as Siya came on the second half last weekend, he played a brilliant game. I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't even know about the maracas he made afterwards, running around in his
Yeah.
foppies. And nor could I care less. It's funny. But yeah, so obviously you're going to get all the Karens are going to pop out and say, "Oh, hold on a second, we've got some ammo. Let's shoot." And boy, are they shooting. So I'm raising the bigger question. As far as Marnie Libbok's concerned, I think he's a brilliant player. A bit disappointing on the kicks though, which I think is totally avoidable. But like you said, we're going to trust in Rassie as he's got a way of firing up the nation and bringing them together. Um, I'm actually, me and my wife, we actually started watching Chasing the Sun. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I think I cried already like 3 times since started watching it. So yeah, we're gonna obviously trust in the man to make the right decisions. Anything else you would like to comment on regarding tomorrow's game, or do you have your 2 cents to ready to deliver for the France and New Zealand team or game that's tomorrow as well?
Uh, well, I'm utterly disappointed you're only watching Chasing the Sun now. I've cried myself to sleep a few times with that. But regarding the game tomorrow, my 2 cents would be England are not gonna just lie down. I don't think it'll be as close as the World Cup semis if the conditions that I checked on the weather is anything to go by, but it is their home ground advantage at Twickenham, and I've watched games there many times. England do lift their game, but they have so many holes with the rush defense. They don't have it down pat yet. And the rush defense takes a while, and they lost Felix Jones doing the rush defense. I'm going to give it the Boks by 7, and I would be happily surprised if England win. I can tell my British 2 boys that their team has won while they're sitting next to me, high five them. But I mean, I'm going to support the Boks no matter what. Boks by 7. New Zealand, France, different game. Right. I do a lot of analysis about the games, and then I have a conversation and an argument with ChatGPT. Uh, 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 Afterwards, normally, while I've done my predictions, I'll put that into ChatGPT and go on. What are you going to do? And then I also put it into my bookies and look at their predictions. So ChatGPT said the Boks by 15, and I went, "Are you fucking nuts? No, the Boks by 7 max." And I won't be completely blown away if the British come back, the English come back and have a great game. But with New Zealand against France, even ChatGPT went, "No, it's a draw." I'm like, "No, you can't do that. You're AI. I need you to predict the winner." And it went, "No,
I've,
28 each." And I'm
I've,
like, "I'm
I've
sorry,
stopped.
that's unacceptable."
I've stopped relying on ChatGPT for anything, honestly.
Exactly. Unless you're writing
Besides,
code or unless you're writing
um,
code or trying to find a way to closest place to get marijuana, that's reliable. But
not even the code
ChatGPT
anymore.
for
You
anything
know,
else doesn't matter.
I've tried to use ChatGPT to troubleshoot a piece of coding that I was writing for Maxi, and I fed it 1,000 lines of code because I couldn't find where the mistake was. It says, "Here we go, I fixed your problem," but it gave me back 200 lines of code. I'm like, well, what on earth are you doing? I just gave you 1,000 lines of code. Where's the rest? Oh, I'm sorry. I see what I've made a mistake. And it will give me the same file again. I'm like, are you kidding me? Where is the other 800 lines of code? So I ended up just fixing it myself. It's not as reliable as you think. It's great
Yeah,
for
you
Facebook posts, and it's great for yeah, for finding where the nearest convenience stores. But other than that, no. But it'll be improved. Give it time. It will get better.
I know it'll get better,
I
but
could
at this
promise you,
stage,
ChatGPT
uh,
doesn't know a thing about rugby.
clearly not. But it knew enough to say it was too close to call. And I think that was kind of the point
Yeah,
that
no, I
I
agree.
got out of it. Like France, New Zealand will probably be the main game. As a Springbok fan, I love us playing England. I'm going to watch that. But good God, France, New Zealand's going to be a mammoth game. I'm going to predict now that New Zealand will win just on current form and kind of a gut feel. Um, they made a few changes, and I think New Zealand's settling now. Bowden Barrett's at 10, which I like more. Satiti moves to 8. Ardi moves to 7. I love that kind of move that they finally have an 8 where Ardi can go to 7, where he's the most potent. And Antoine Dupont's back, but he can't do everything. So they have Intermac missing. I'm going to give it to New Zealand by 4. And then the rest of the games for the weekend for us to wrap up. Italy v Georgia, I'm going to call a draw. And I'm going to pick Wales to beat Australia.
Oh, is that so? Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna.
think Georgia is underrated. I think Italy is amazing, but they have been weekend. And I just want to pick one draw and one upset for the weekend. My
Yeah, nah, nah.
upset will be Wales v Australia. I hope Australia kicks Wales' ass, but I want to put one upset in there and I want to put one draw in there. I can't see a draw anywhere else. I can't see an upset anywhere else. So I'm going to go Italy, Georgia, a draw, and Wales in some random parallel universe upsetting Australia, which I
I'm gonna.
won't bet even $1 on, but I want to pick one upset, and I just feel so bad for Wales losing every game this year. I just feel so bad for them. Let them
Yeah,
win one.
nah. So I'm gonna go for the Boks for the win, New Zealand for the win, and Australia for the win. I'm sorry for West England. Australia is gonna get out on top. Hopefully, let's see how it goes. Walter, I want to let you go. I know, your bones are aching.
I'm getting too old for this shit. I'm wearing my hunting clothes because I'm stalking a bear, Stephen.
Is there a
Literally,
bear?
there's a bear that doesn't want to go hibernate close to us. I'm gonna go sit up in a uh, little Americans. We have this little shed we put up in the tree. We climb into it and then we stalk it. We sit and wait for the bear. So that's what I'm gonna go do now and chase it off so it doesn't come and eat my beagles,
Oh,
my puppy.
oh, shame. Well, look, I just want to say from Oorsee, um, we you're part of the team. I mean, in a way, you are the team, and I know things aren't going so well. You guys just went through two major storms, so much so that you're forced to leave your beautiful home and pack up your family and move down south. And I hope that all goes well. And as for your health, we will keep praying that you will heal and that yeah, we'll still be able to do this for a couple of more World Cups because that'll be fantastic.
I will heal when I kill that bloody bear.
Go to bed. Leave the bear alone. Right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, Stephen. Bye.
Bye. Bye.